More than 400 unemployed Americans have shared their story with us in the last 2 weeks. Here they are. They illustrate in no uncertain terms the urgent need for Congress to extend federal unemployment insurance through 2012. Without action, 2 million Americans will lose their benefits by February, as shown in this chart. 2 million Americans like Phil from Clinton Township. He wrote to us with a resolve common among the stories that we've received, and I quote, "I am by no means unintelligent. I am by no means lazy, and I am by no means giving up. Without unemployment benefits, I will not be able to pay my bills, including my cell phone, so I may receive calls from potential employers, and finding something to eat will become increasingly difficult." Congress has never allowed the federal program to expire with the unemployment rate as high as it remains today. And we must not start now. We must act now.
As families gather this next week for Thanksgiving, some 6 million Americans will be left wondering whether they will be able to secure a job before their federal unemployment coverage expires. There are people like Jesse, a retired Navy veteran in San Antonio, who has applied for over 300 jobs unsuccessfully. Sadly, some Republicans continue to blame the unemployment problem on the unemployed, even though there are about 4 people for every job opening in America today. Too many remain jobless, not for a lack of wanting to work, but for a lack of work. Let's continue to encourage more job creation. But for those who lack a job, we also must preserve the lifeline of extended unemployment benefits. It's only the turkey that ought to be carved at Thanksgiving, not the unemployed's ability to share in the bounty of America.
My colleagues, some of you may have read that the protesters at Wall Street are now being subjected to attacks by the police and law enforcement for loitering and other violations. There is no question in anyone's mind that the right to free speech has restrictions, and it's not an open end, and we have to be considerate of the people that are adversely affected. But there is also a moral issue in addition to the constitutional issue that no one can challenge, that these protesters has brought to the attention of the American people. And that is the fact that we have a moral obligation to take care of those people who are vulnerable. Take care of those people who are sick. Take care of the people that are aged and our children, not just before birth, but after birth. The fact that we're talking about turning these questions over to 12 members of Congress, it's not just unconstitutional, it is immoral. And so I'm calling on the spiritual leaders of our country, don't leave this vacuum. Bring in with Catholic and Protestants and all the religions to say there's something wrong with the formula that we have for the poor.
Madam Speaker, last year unemployment insurance kept over 3 million people, including 1 million kids, out of poverty. And these benefits are due to expire, and without an extension, 300,000 or more than 300,000 Californians will lose this lifeline. Extending unemployment insurance is a smart thing to do. It creates jobs. People spend their benefits. They buy gasoline, groceries, put people to work in the community, send their kids to school. People scraping by on unemployment aren't looking for a handout. These are people who have been working for a long time. They are employable. There just aren't jobs, and they're out there looking to find one. We should help them. They're not looking for a handout. They're looking for a hand up. Are we going to tell them we had money for wars, bank bailouts, tax cuts for millionaires, and not for workers? I don't think so. A constituent frustrated at gridlock in Congress wrote, "America, wake up before it's too late." Our political system doesn't work. Let's all work together and prove this constituent of mine wrong. I yield back the balance of my time.
Madam Speaker, 8 days from now is Thanksgiving. We're all going to sit down to a nice plump turkey and enjoy ourselves. Well, not everybody. All across this nation, we're seeing people protest. They're young people, middle-aged people, and older people, even parents with kids. And these folks are mad. They're seeing Wall Street companies profit after getting us into the economic mess we have. And at the same time, they're among the millions of people in this country who are unemployed that are still without a job. There are 4 people looking for every job out there. It's not easy. And Congress, the Republicans are sitting on their hands again. We're coming up to the end of the year. I want my Republican colleagues to take notice. If you continue to push the unemployed and struggling Americans instead focus on tax breaks for corporations and the wealthy, the Occupy movement will be in your districts, on your doorsteps next November. Unemployment benefits should be extended immediately.
Madam Speaker, recently Atlantic Magazine gave a voice to the jobless in America. The words of one person speaks for a million. Unemployment dehumanizes the real person. One American writes, you lose the essence of your identity and value. You become a number, a label, a resume, a failure, a defect, desperate, poor, and separated from society. Being unemployed is to be silent, disrespected, on par with being homeless, mentally ill, or addicted. Today we speak for millions of Americans who will be pushed to the edges of our society, locked out and left behind if we fail to act. The jobless in America elected us so that we will have a voice, they will have a voice in these debates. They are not points on a graph or numbers on a page. They are human beings. We must not abandon the people of this nation. We must pass the unemployment insurance extension and do it without delay. Wake up, Congress. Wake up and do what is right.